In today's video, we're walking from Snape Maltings in Suffolk down the River Old to the very ancient Iken Church hidden away in the village. Today we're at Snape Maltings, which we'll probably say something about a bit later. We're going to walk down the river to Iken Church, if that's possible, because it is a bit tidal, and on previous attempts we have been thwarted.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.
Already a little bit disappointed in this walk because there used to be some amazing art installations here, like one of those cart horses with a wagon on the back, but it was like life size or even bigger than life size, certainly life size. And they were just in this field, and they're fantastic. And there's a couple of other things. They've all clearly been removed. So, yeah, the River Old, I think it is over there, and we're basically tracing the riverbank. We come close to the river a bit further up. Some amazing wildlife. But for now, yeah, kind of got across the marshland on a boardwalk, as I remember, if that's still there. It's changed a lot since we last came.
We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Very quickly we're out into silence. You can just slightly hear the breeze on the reeds, but nothing else. A little bit of bird song maybe.
You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side.
Definitely get the big open Suffolk skies here. It's a glorious day. Sun's out, temperature not too bad.
Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy.
Yeah, I think, as I may have said, the last couple of times we've come, we've been slightly thwarted on this walk because the River Old, if that's what that river is tidal, and there's a bit when we're walking nearby the river, the footpath gets very narrow, but when the tide comes in it's impassable. So let's hope we get through there. There may be an alternative way around, but we've never tried it. It's normally, so far on the walk, we've just turned around and come back, but we shall see.
Things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
of these ancient trees stood here for, well, this one stood here for hundreds of years, by the size of the trunk, I would imagine. And I've seen the times when industry used the wherries and that to take stuff down the river, and perhaps when the reeds were used for thatch, maybe they still are, I don't know, but it's been here for centuries. Sometimes wish trees could somehow talk or record. Maybe they do record history, or whether you could extract it somehow from a tree. It'd be absolutely fascinating. We found an info board. Let's show the river here. The walk, rather.
Part of the walk. We're on the Suffolk coast. The path.
Yeah, I think it's on there.
Around here.
Yeah, there's Snape.
Yeah.
Does it show Iken?
No.
No. Just on that blue bit of it. So this changed a bit since we last here. Remember that cottage looking like it needed a bit of renovation? Well, that's certainly been renovated. And also built a couple of glass fronted houses on the property. Absolutely glorious location. And that looks out onto the river down here. Built their own private jetty by the look of it. So we come to the river as this new vista opens up. So this is the section of the walk I've been looking forward to. Quite often see little egrets down here. And the last few times we've come, we just had like our phone cameras, which you're not going to get a close-up. And obviously this camera I film on doesn't have a zoom, but I have brought my trusty Panasonic, which has an extremely long zoom. So you see a little egret, but that island there is quite often packed with birds. It might be the wrong time of day, or they might just be on the ground because of the noonday sun. And if we see a little egret, I shall try and get a close-up and we'll see what we can find. It all looks a bit quiet because you bring the right camera. Of course, the thing that's always here is not here. Where are you, little egret? Might be camera shy. You can see the Panasonic has a incredible zoom on it. That is the Iken Church that we're heading for. A gentleman, or the couple that I just passed, told me there's a couple of seals basking out on the island over there. Oh yeah, I wonder if that's them. got any of that, so that might be a couple of seals, or it could just be a couple of lumps of mud. Have a look when I get back home. So the zoom is fantastic, gets right in, but the viewfinder on the back of the camera in high sunlight, a bit tricky to see what you're zooming in on. But the couple I spoke to pointed me out, or put me onto the seals. They said if you walk round a bit you can see the seals better. So a bit further down we'll have another look, see if we can see them there. Of course, the thing with wildlife is it's not sat there waiting to be photographed, is it? They're going through their day, so what was there a minute ago might not still be there. We shall see. Anyway, good thing is the tide is out, so I'm confident we will get to Iken Church. Sorry if that footage was a bit shaky, but got a long lens and no tripod. Well, I've got little tripods, but they weren't big enough to see the seals where we were. Anyway, at least we got a bit closer than we could on the usual camera. If you fancy coming down here but you don't fancy walking it, there is certainly in the summer and when things are back to normal, there is a sort of tourist boat down from Snape Maltings, and it sort of comes round here. I think the tide has to be in for the boat, but yeah, you kind of get a view, but obviously you've got the noise of the boat engine then, you don't get the quietness that you get down here. And we've now passed the point where if the tide was in you couldn't get past, so we're going to make it, and we're going to Iken Church, Iken being a little village, going to the church over there.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love. A few years later I have started thinking, if it's just love in every glass I'm drinking, we're like one and without you I'm sinking. I'm always shining next to you. Oh, I got you, there's no reason to chasing pavement on my own, 'cause you're here to stay every night and day. I'm delighted 'cause I got you. I have always been afraid of changes, but
As you saw, we turned left onto this road when the footpath ended. At about 100 yards, 50 yards, 100 yards. A little bit you'll come to this junction here, and you'll see the sign for Iken Church to the left, and we're going to go down there.
Life is full of faces. Sometimes clouds got in our favorite places, but we were young and unaware.
Oh, I got you, there's no reason to chasing pavement on my own, 'cause you're here to stay every night and day. I'm delighted 'cause I got you.
So here we are at Iken Church today. Access, as you saw, across private land, which is one of them odd historical things, I guess. in the middle of nowhere. A thatched church. You don't see many thatched churches. Although having said that, I wouldn't want to be responsible for a thatched church. But it looks like the thatch has recently been redone. Oh, I'm really impressed. Well done, Iken Church. This is the only church I've been to during lockdown on a walk that's actually been open. Marvellous. And the notices are just like little prayers rather than panicking about coronavirus, which I know is serious. Could happily just sit and pray there. But better just tell Hazel I've come in the church. She doesn't know where I am. There's quite a bit of history here at St Botolph's Church at Iken. So apparently St Botolph himself landed off the River Old and founded a monastery here, or not far from here. And so there's been some worship type thing here since 654 AD, which is a long time ago. This building goes back to the 1200s. The main part, the thatch part of the chancel, I think. And also, disaster struck in 1968. The gentleman that was clearing the churchyard lit a bonfire to burn the sort of rubbish he'd cleared up, and the sparks got into the thatch and burnt the church down completely. And it took him 20 years, so 78 to 1988, to restore the church. But that thatch looks much newer than that, so I think it's been redone recently as well. So quite a lot of history here, and as we saw, the church is open, very peaceful. It's almost, as it says on the notice, it's like a pilgrimage. Come in here, so I highly recommend. Worth walking that little bit further down the river and into the village to find it. So Snape Maltings, where we started from, is also very interesting, so we're going to go back there now and have a look around there.
A few moments later.
And we're back at the van. I'll just take you and show you a little bit about Snape Maltings. We're just having van envy there. To slightly upgrade our van to something a bit like that. So there's a huge concert hall here at Snape Maltings. Also antique shops. What else? Craft, overpriced furniture. Cafe, overpriced sandwiches. I think that's why it's free parking, so you don't notice the hit you're taking on the sandwiches. So it's obviously an old malt complex for malting or making malt, however they did that. Yes, so this part of the complex behind me is got furniture and crockery and all sorts of housewares. There's craft shops, and then upstairs in that building there's a restaurant when it's open. There's also a pub out on the main road, and then there's this little craft shop here. It's got lots of interesting stuff in it. Well, that boat does say river trips, but the boat I've been on down here was a lot bigger than that. Maybe they have different size boats for different times. Obviously not really all open like it usually is in normal times, but there was the odd little ice cream sign, so we're trying to locate the ice cream at the minute. And of course we're not allowed anything inside, are we, at the moment? So it's like the cafe's outside in those sort of glamping yurts. Are they yurts? Tents, they're tents, aren't they, really? So it feels like an ice cream might be within reach.
What would you like? We've got vanilla, chocolate, strawberry or raspberry yogurt.
So we have a little ice cream. Again, I think it's overpriced. £3.50 for a little tub. Sample, a little tub with a false bottom in. Don't get me started on that. Anyway, very nice ice cream. But nice to have a little bit of ice cream. Just add a coffee up on the bench there. And just taking in the views. So thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give us a thumbs up on YouTube. That helps the channel. And also, if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to click that red subscribe button. Click the bell icon to get notifications of new videos. And let's walk together soon.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming.